Huh? What? You want shaker? What? Ukulele? What? Oh. You want xylophone? It's 5 in the morning, there's no one around. Then out of the darkness a mysterious sound, echoes of a cat letting it be known he wants to hear a xylophone. And lucky for him he came to the right place. I carry a xylophone just in case there's a cat who needs some company from a xylophone. Lesson to everyone. You never know what your cat really wants. This cat doesn't need a home, he just needs a xylophone.
Oh. Oh, that's so sweet. Look who's here with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's love. She's
I
the reason
know.
we do this. We do this for our cats.
For our kitty cats, yes.
We do it for
She's
our
saying, and she's
kitties.
saying, "Put me down." You know,
How
Sasha,
are
she wants
you?
me on camera, and then she doesn't want me on camera. I'm doing just great. How are you, Whimsy?
Exhausted but satisfied.
Well, you've been working hard, but you've been doing your labors of love, things you're
Yes.
passionate about. I'm so proud of you.
I'm working on peace proposals, and you and I are writing a book. Did you know that?
Well, yeah. I'm working on some illustrations right now for
Yeah,
you.
Chuck and I are co-authoring a book for Broke Aristocrats, and hopefully we'll be ready to go to print in August. He is the artist. He is the official illustrator for our book on living like royalty on a budget. If two people, let me tell you, he and I know how to do this.
Oh, do we ever?
Yeah, so I'm excited to see you in April, which is going to be, at the end of April, you and I will be together. We're doing a photo shoot. We're going to be eating great food.
Yeah.
We're going to be going live together for the show. And we're going to be working together on our collab, and it's just amazing. And it's going to be fun.
Well, the last time you were here, we did a live show together. Not this split screen thing, but you and me sitting side by side. It was so much fun. And let's see. You had a beer and I had a wine cooler, and we just had a little blast that day.
I had a beer. That's right. And I remember that you picked me up. What you? I said to get a Pilsner. I think you got me. Did you give me a Heineken? I think you got me 2 Heinekens.
I don't remember now.
Grab me 2 Heinekens. Yes. Did I give you one of the Heinekens? Because I don't think I drank both of them.
You might have. I just know it was a very stressful day, and we didn't know if we were going to get on the air or not. We finally got back to the hotel room.
Instead of eating, what did we eat instead of pizza? We grabbed some pizzas and Heinekens. Remember that?
Yeah. I just know we had some good food. And of course, this time, you and I are going to have tacos for real.
Yes, we are.
We do a Taco Tuesday with real tacos.
Yeah, you look great, by the way. I can
Oh,
see that you're working hard and you look really fulfilled as well.
thank you. Well, I'm just like you, and I'm doing things that I love, that I'm
I know. Isn't
passionate
this a
about.
great time to be
Yeah,
alive despite all the crazy politics? I
despite
mean,
all of the craziness, and this is what we've been talking about because no secret here, there's a lot of craziness going on, but
there is.
we have to just find our individual passions, our individual joys, whatever grounds and centers us and keeps us shielded from all of this nonsense.
Absolutely. Well, did you want to go ahead and turn the camera around and say hi to everybody? Who's all with us
Well,
today?
let's see. I love this name here. Be grateful. Be grateful.
Oh,
I love your name. And
thank you.
Stephanie and Susan and oh, hi Joyce Petrus. She's my
Hi,
good
Joyce.
friend. Wendy. Hi
Oh,
Wendy.
Wendy. My Wendy's here. Oh, I love Wendy.
Uh-huh.
She
Yeah,
designed the official hat for the
I know
show.
she did. That hat is
We
amazing.
The hat will go down in history with the show. When I die, there's going to be a hat on top of the grave. I'm
You mean you're
serious.
not going to be buried with the hat?
You
You're not
know,
going to
the
take it with you?
hat is part of the lore. I really think
Yeah.
so. It has taken on its own powers.
Yes,
Has
it
everybody
has.
seen the hat that Wendy, the love and the time this
I
must have
know. She
taken?
put a lot of love into that. It's so
But it's
perfect for you.
everything I love. It's
Yeah,
everything I love. Look at this.
I know.
Herbs.
It
And even
makes
the herbs she chose.
yeah, but she made you look magical and
I am
mystical
magical.
and whimsical.
Oh, I
Very
am all of
whimsy.
those things. I am all of those things. Hopefully, everybody had a chance to share, like, and subscribe. I have not shipped your book out yet. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
You'll get it soon, though.
I'll get it
Uh,
soon.
the book, I'm excited. You know, we have a
2
part, a
volumes.
volume 1 and 2.
Yeah, we've never done a 2-volume.
Yeah, I think actually, what was her name? She wrote the sci-fi. It was multiple books. Do you remember the sci-fi book we did?
Yeah, but I think we only
For the
read
Love
one
of
book.
Tayami. Oh God, that was such a good series. Do you remember that? She's such a good writer.
Sure. Yeah, well, everyone has been a good writer. I
I
mean,
know. You know,
I
I'm pleasantly surprised because I don't like it when I have rejected books. We do reject books here.
well, it's
For whatever
unfortunately
reason, it
not
doesn't
everyone.
fit with the show.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, not everyone makes the show,
it's
and
just not
so
as much as we want to, it's just not possible to have
no, we
everyone.
get
But you've made
we get
excellent
a lot of submissions
selections,
now.
and it's just a wonderful way to support independent writers. You don't have to have a major publisher behind you. We are empowered now to do our own thing, to publish our own works, and I'm just seeing nothing but excellence. At least everything you've
Yes,
sent me every
you
month.
know, I had a chance to talk to Fran Kalb, FL
Yeah,
Kalb. She wrote
yeah,
1001 Nights. We
yes,
talked for about a half an hour, and I just am so in awe of her as a writer.
yes.
What an adventure to be with
I'm
her.
glad
What
you
an
spoke with
adventure
her.
to be in her world. I mean, what an
Yeah.
honor.
Well, sometimes after we have finished our show, the cameras are still on, and I've kept talking with some of the authors as well. Sometimes it's hard to pull the brakes. When you get really into it and you get
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. We only have
Yeah,
30 minutes. Yeah.
yeah,
So this is, excuse me, this is Michelle Rose La Rochelle, The Wavelength of Pure Intention. The book is meant to the book is meant to teach you the importance of the energy frequency. You know what I love about this book? I'll
I can
tell you what
guess.
I love about this book. We are constantly giving off energy, and people are either repelled by it or attracted to it. And we're constantly putting out energy that we
Yes,
are repelled or attracted to certain situations. Like
certainly.
there are people you don't find them all that attractive, but they are really attracted to you. And so they grow on you because their enthusiasm or their flirtation. And then you think, you know what? Now you are kind of cute,
Hmm.
right? So one person's vibration can impact another person's vibration. And so I remember that you and I had done Sparkle, and she talked a little bit about that, let yourself sparkle, etc. And I felt like this was kind of like a continuation of that book. It was a great start. And that book really affected me. I know it affected you as well. Gave
Yeah,
it to friends for the holidays. So The Wavelength of Pure Intention, this book is meant to teach you the importance of the energy frequency of love so that you can be in that frequency so that you can maintain it and establish relationships. This love frequency is innate in human experience. I totally agree with that. However, most people keep themselves from feeling love and peace based on conditioned fear, insecurities, etc. So she just goes into how you can resonate with that. I mean, like that's what yogis do, is how can you first off know what it feels like, how to channel it, how to receive it, and how to send it out. In HCRV, it's third level. We have 5 stages in tantric heart-centered remote viewing. So this is the tantra base that we teach here on our channel, is tantra based remote viewing.
Sure.
And when you do the tantra based, or what we call heart-centered, which is the secular way of teaching it, it's based on 5 distinct steps. And she gets into that when she talks about the states of going into abiding, and then letting yourself be opened and feel these things. And then what can you do to evoke this state in yourself and evoke it in others? And it always, you know what? It always starts with yourself.
Absolutely. I think it's also about training yourself just to recognize when you are in that state, so we can maintain it, kind of stay there without even having to try for it anymore.
Yeah.
It just becomes a natural part of our being.
Yeah. So we're going to just do volume 1. If you like what she's saying, you can go ahead. And this, I think, is vital. This second volume, I feel, is even as important, because this can be dangerous by itself in the sense that it doesn't establish this. I can't wait till she shows up, to be honest. I have a lot to say about this, but equality, now that you've got the flow, the person like, ooh, I like that feeling you're giving me all this love. Now I think then you can wind up with parasites or whatnot. So then the next book she puts out is called Equality. Okay. How do we have an equal give and take with this energy? You see what I'm saying? Isn't that freaking
I understand.
So you don't have to buy both books. I know people are a little bit, find out if you first like the book. So start with number 1 volume, The Wavelength. Like I said, it's written by Michelle Rose La Rochelle. These are channeled conversations for manifesting freedom and acceptance of self. Man, I'm so excited about this book series.
I can't wait to get my books. Please send them to me.
Yeah.
I want to start reading this. But I think a lot of this is what you and I were just talking about, being in our joy, being in our passion, doing what we love, and why we feel so energized right now, because it does put us in a higher vibrational place.
Yeah, and think about everything that you could create if you were just functioning constantly on that wavelength. You would still have passion, but it would be passion for any projects that bring heaven and earth closer together. Isn't that freaking awesome? I'm so excited about this book.
I love that. I love that. Well, it was someone said to me that whenever we create art, we are touching God. So that's another way of saying it when you say bringing heaven and earth together. But I thought that was so lovely when she said that to me. And that's how it often feels. I often feel like I'm channeling when I'm working, and it elevates me. Sometimes I get a little too obsessed when I'm working. I don't know when to stop. I don't know when to pull on the brakes.
Usually I'm not like that, and I don't really understand these men who are workaholics, always at the office working on their pet projects and their businesses and things like that. And I think, well, I don't get that at all. And then I started working on this project that I've been working on, a particular project, and I've never been this consumed before in my life. I feel like a Tesla employee. It's like 18 hours a day. It's an addiction. I'm like, oh, now I get what it is to be passionate.
Oh, I understand it. We just have to do what relates to us personally in our own gifts. But like you said, those men in the office working on all those hours, maybe that is their passion. That is what.
Yes, I think that's ultimately the goal, right?
I think so.
Okay, well, I think we need to go into it, don't you? Are we ready?
I'm ready.
It's like getting off camera here. I apologize. Have you heard the latest about poor Mr. Elon?
Oh, yes. Oh, I know we're not supposed to take joy in someone's misfortune, but
yeah. So we're gonna watch a little bit of what's going on with Elon. Special shout out to Chris Norland. Hi, Chris. It's Whimsy over at Taco Twosdays here. Let's just see what the latest is.
So Elon Musk may be trying to smile on the outside, but I can promise you he is definitely crying on the inside as he and Tesla are having an absolutely awful month. Check out the headlines, guys. Tesla's worst month since 2022 coincided with Elon Musk's first full month in the White House. What's going on? Well, basically, people all around the world are rejecting Elon Musk and Tesla. This is out of China. Tesla's China-made EV sales fall 29% in the first 2 months of 2025. You got this. Tesla just got absolutely horrible news about its sales in China, and it's also happening in Europe as well. Tesla sales down in France, down in Scandinavia as Musk faces test of brand. And then you got our friends in the UK also rejecting Tesla. Tesla sales plunge almost 50% in UK as two major rivals overtake in popularity. Why buy Tesla when you have a lot of other choices out there, right? And then you got this. Tesla chair Robin Denholm sells 33 million in stock.
Oof.
They just keep dumping. Elon's brother is dumping.
Oh, wow.
The Tesla CFO, so Chief Financial Officer, is dumping. And then you got the chair dumping. The stock is down this month. About 30%. You guys can see it there.
Oh,
and then from top to
45% is
the
bankruptcy.
where we are now, so that was December 17, 2024, to where we are now, March 4, 2025, it's down 43%. And frankly, he had a horrible weekend as well. You had a whole bunch of protests happening all around. Check out this.
Elon, ja, das ist dieser verhaltensauffällige Tech-Milliardär aus den USA.
So that was people protesting Elon.
Okay, I think that people have seen enough to get the ball rolling. Let's talk about it. Grab your tequila, grab your coffee.
Oh my God.
If you don't drink like me because you're lightweight, grab the coconut water. Let's talk, buddy. What do you think?
Well, I know we are not supposed to rejoice in someone's misery or suffering. We're not supposed to wish that. But I do like to see karma being facilitated. Let's put it that way. Elon Musk is doing some horrible, horrible things right now, and I'm glad that the world is revolting and sending a clear message to the little man. Well, how do you feel about it, Whimsy?
I feel like I'm such a narcissist, and I'm so self-absorbed and wrapped up in my own projects about rebuilds and the fact that these people are trying to negotiate some of the contracts. And I'm thinking like, okay, you can do whatever you want to the current administration. Just give me 6 months. No, we're not going to give you 6 months because, you know, certain things are happening.
Yeah.
But, so I find myself in a weird situation with this because I agree with people that it's really out of control, crazy. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? You're usually the voice of sanity. What do you think?
Am I the voice of sanity? Well, you know, we were talking about this last week. I haven't checked the figures recently, but I saw last week his stock was down 31%.
Oh, it's
a week ago. I think I saw in Europe, Tesla sales were down 45%. But from that video, it looks like things have gone even further downhill. And I think I saw also, I forget which country it was in South America, but they canceled a $29 billion contract with Elon Musk. For his, what's it? Starlink? That's what it's called. Was
it Starlink? Who canceled the Starlink?
I think it might have been Colombia or Brazil. It was a South American country. I'm sorry to say I can't remember which one, but I saw that a $29 billion contract had been canceled. It's not good for Elon because, you know, his wealth, a lot of his power is based upon his Tesla stock. And, you know, I've said this all along, you know, the claim was he was worth $400 billion, allegedly. But something in my gut said, you know, that saying like on paper or on digital, I've always had this feeling like it's very fragile and it could go away.
It is very fragile. He also shorts he's also been shorting crypto, right? So if you looked, did you guys by any chance see the Joe Rogan Elon Musk interview?
No, I'd love to have seen that.
It's interesting because I did a remote view, and it was not too long ago. Hold on, if I can see this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who put the video up, but
We'll see.
it was Farzid. Okay. So
Terry
Farzid, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to say, Terry here just mentioned that Ontario, Canada canceled Starlink, but I also saw South America. It was a country that also canceled a link. But anyway, forgive me, Whimsy. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Yeah, so what has started to happen is, let me explain what happened. Okay, so Elon Musk needed money. This is what the remote views show. Okay, so Elon Musk needed money for Tesla. His marriage was in trouble. His first marriage fell apart because of the babies and all the other stuff. Okay, the second marriage fell apart because he was in financial trouble. He begins to come up with frantic ways. Oh, hi, Frank Calbus here. He tries to come up with frantic ways to get money. And one of the ways we believe is questionable loans from foreign governments, and that those funds could have been given to him possibly through a back channel like crypto. The other thing we found out when we went, which means he's compromised. The other thing that we found out when we went into the remote was that the fastest way that he had been making money is he had been pump and dumping dodgy coin, so that people were throwing their money into this worthless coin, which was dodgy, which he later changed Department of Government Efficiency to be dodgy. So the joke is on us. Mm-hmm. So what it was, pump, dump it, right? So dodgy, then, and so what does he do with his winnings? He puts them into Bitcoin. So he just kept pump and dump, buy Bitcoin, pump and dump, buy Bitcoin. So now Tesla owns 720 million worth of Bitcoin, but he is basically privately probably has a lot of Bitcoin, but that was what he did. He pumped and dumped and moved it to Bitcoin, which is worth something, and possibly Ethereum. And from there, he might have transferred it to a foreign money or something like that. So what I saw Joe Rogan calling him out personally.
Good.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of people saying it simultaneously. They just got their instructions. So, I mean, essentially the Dem leadership or, political leadership, they issue their instructions and their puppets carry it out.
Yeah.
They're just like puppets in a puppet show.
And that's the problem that I see with all this Doge stuff.
Right.
Because everybody should be celebrating that we've found a way to cut out fraud and waste.
Yeah.
If you pay taxes and you don't like that you have to pay so much in taxes, and then you find out that there's significant fraud and waste that's been exposed, you should be celebrating it. This shouldn't be, oh no, the wrong people found this fact and now it's a bad thing.
Yes.
And then there's the fucking propaganda, the mind fuck.
So he starts off like that, and then he basically says, what do you think of this idea where we could pump and dump? You know anything about that? And I don't know who said it.
I don't know who said that either.
Yeah, I don't know who was. I don't know who had the actual video, but it was interesting to see it because the person that was posting it was like, "This is boring. I don't even understand why they're talking about this." Oh, here it is, Keith Edwards. Thank you, Keith. Okay, so let me try again. I want to show this. To me, sorry to take up too much time with this, but this really struck me because, can you see it all right? Yes. He basically talks about security fraud.
And the money goes out of Social Security immediately, but the obligation for Social Security.
So he talks about Social Security.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
As our future obligations.
Let me see it.
I paid into it.
Okay, here it is.
But it was me with
It's absurd.
It's so crazy.
Well, it's deliberate propaganda.
Yes.
So that they know it was not. It was obviously not.
Not a Nazi salute. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I should have had this ready for you guys.
Out of this, I can't believe they got me. Like,
Yeah.
it's just weird that it's legal still.
Yeah, here it is. Watch this. Watch this exchange, you guys. Sorry it took so long for me to find it. Watch this.
Steps out of line.
The weird one is the pump and dumps. Like people
happen all
get-
the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
And people get shocked that somebody pump and dumped. Like, what
Yeah.
are you doing? Did you like? I was hoping to dump. I was hoping to make all the money out of this. I can't believe they got me. Like,
Yeah.
it's just weird that it's legal still.
I mean, casinos are legal.
Yeah.
And
It is like
people
a
just
casino.
lose money at casinos.
Yeah.
You know.
But you can't rig a casino like a pump and dump. You could rig a pump and dump. You know,
Yeah, I guess so.
like you could run a real pyramid scheme.
Well, I mean, the government's one big pyramid scheme, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, whoa,
You want
Whoa.
to talk about it?
whoa! The government is one big pyramid scheme.
What do you think Joe Rogan was doing?
Well, obviously trying to get Elon to admit something, to let something slip out, to maybe goad him just a little bit. I don't. What do you think?
I think that it is at the height of absurdity that a criminal who's been pumping and dumping crypto and taking advantage of vulnerable Americans now has access to our Social Security.
Oh, it's terrifying. It's beyond
I
terrifying.
mean, yeah.
Our IRS records, our bank information, our Social Security numbers. There's all kinds of speculation there that I saw something the other day, somebody saying, well, what if all of our information makes its way to Putin and they start seizing our assets that way? Even, I mean, that sounds so far-fetched, but frankly, our world has become so far-fetched right now.
Mhm.
Who knows what they can do with this information?
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Next thing in the news has to do with the disastrous visit with Zelenskyy.
Oh, God.
Zelenskyy, as many of you know, he was invited to the White House. I guess this was the first time that Zelenskyy had met with Trump. Is that correct?
I think
Since the time. Yeah.
I mean, they've obviously spoken many times. In fact, Trump's first impeachment was over that. Remember how he was talking to Zelenskyy, trying to blackmail him to get some dirt on Biden? Wasn't that the case? So they have definitely communicated.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah. But I believe this is their first face-to-face meeting. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah. What was interesting is that this I'll go ahead and I'll let people see this, but so we can talk about it together. But what was interesting for me about this, and then you all can join in, but your country has been invaded and thousands of your children have been kidnapped, raped. People have been raped, murdered. And they're talking, they want him to dress in a fancy suit. I mean, what planet are these people in? This man's country has been invaded by a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It just felt to me like a setup. They had this all planned. They were going to bully Zelenskyy and publicly shame him in front of the cameras. I think that was.
Well, look at them. Oh my God, let's watch.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars? And I've got a question.
I hope it will. I mean, I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very.
He looks like he's ready to. I mean, like this guy has seen his citizens' heads blown up in front of him. He's dodged multiple assassination attempts. I mean,
It was just such a childish little display, in my opinion. Someone said it was a case of a man without a suit dealing with a suit without a man. It's just Trump and Vance were just a couple of bullies. It looked all set up. It looked all pre-planned. It was almost like even a little bit of retaliation for the first impeachment.
Right.
Like Trump was just being blatant. Okay, I'm going to do it in front of the whole world on the cameras right now and talk to him. There were elements of that even to it.
And it looks like Trump pulled aid to Ukraine. I don't know if you've read the latest.
He did. Now I understand they are back in discussions again. And I think it's a case of where Zelenskyy realizes he has no choice. He's going to have to capitulate to Trump. He's probably going to have to kiss his ass a little.
No way. We can win. I'm telling you, Putin's on his last legs.
Well, I hope so. I'm just wondering if that's what Zelenskyy is fearing right now, because I did read today that he was open to talking to Trump again. And I believe he also said he would sign that deal for the rights to the precious minerals and what have you. What's the correct term for it? Not precious minerals, rare minerals.
I just think this is so sick. A person's being raped and they need help. Save me.
I know it's disgusting.
First. I mean, what the hell? Wait until I agree with what Zelenskyy said. Wait until it happens to you.
Yeah.
And nobody comes to your aid when, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
No.
Oh my God.
I don't think so. The way Trump is alienating the entire planet.
Oh my God. Well, let's go ahead, you guys. I think we're going to go ahead. We'll do the Impass prayer. Maybe people want to receive a healing at this time. We can pray for you. But I could say, let's go ahead and do the Impass prayer and let's blitz away. Do some quick mini readings on different subjects, and hopefully we can get to everybody's questions. What do you guys think? Does that sound like fun?
That's good.
Okay. And if you haven't liked and shared and subscribed to the stream or thought about memberships, that's a great way to support. Donations are always welcome. They buy us coffee, and we always like that. We love our coffee, right, Chuck?
Yes, we do.
We appreciate a coffee donation, but we also appreciate just subscribing, liking. Any other announcements? No, we don't have them. All right, let's go ahead and do the Impasse prayer. I'm going to bring it in. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. And for those of you who are requesting healing at this time, we pray for you. We pray for those you love. May you be healed in mind, body, and spirit. And together, collectively, through the grace of Spirit, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. All right. Well, let's get into it. People are having reactions, and I can't say I totally disagree. Okay. First thing coming up with Joel. He says, regarding the whole crazy thing with Trump wants to cut DOD. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Department of Defense and social programs to pay for the massive tax cuts for the super wealthy. How do you feel about that, Joel?
How do you think I feel about that? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Those poor billionaires need our help. And to hell with school lunches and social programs and meals on wheels and education.
The stuff that we Americans want, our money, and this is what we want to do. No, we don't want to continue to maintain old nuclear weapons that we haven't used since 1945.
No, of course not. And
so a lot of that we support. Yeah, they're putting the whole world at risk. Dismantle. Focus on Iron Dome. Focus on things like that.
I was going to say a lot of these nuclear missiles, like in Russia, are lost. They don't even know where they are anymore.
It's such a dangerous thing.
It's very dangerous.
At risk like that.
Of course, they could detonate. on their
I
own.
really like these new, they're now putting up space satellites, which can just monitor like the eye in the sky. And so if anyone wants to hurt you, you can just shoot down and then it will just go back on them. And so that's really all you need. Why would you need anything else?
Well, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, why would you want if you can defend yourself and shoot and focus entirely on shooting down anyone that attacks you? Why would you need a nuclear weapon? So the focus, which by the way is cost effective for the Pentagon, which is why they're moving in that. They're just doing, which I agree. Think about how much money war used to cost versus now with streamlining security and using drones and satellites. So it's also true that war is being fought in a different way, and now it's through cyber attacks. And so it's a new day, a new dawn. But what do you do with all these old nuclear weapons? That's really we have been coming to this point for the last 10 to 15 years. This was a conversation that we had under Obama. What do we do with all these old weapons? Well, we just continue to make. Why do we continue to maintain them? They're putting the whole life at risk. We're never going to use them. Not only that, but people are threatening us because we have them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I'm wondering, how would you begin to even dispose of old nuclear weapons? What do you do with all of that radioactive material?
Well, it's the plutonium, or what activates the bomb, is separate. So you have the components and then they have to come together.
Yeah. So it could be safely stored away if they were to dismantle.
Yeah. So it launches, and then you have a condensed bunch of energy in a heavy molecule or in a heavy atom, an atom, which is, or atom. I guess it would be, what would you call it if it's been manipulated to be heavy with a lot of electrons, right? So it's like it's going to blow up any second. It's just like this. Very, very heavy and very unstable plutonium. And so you expose it to something that is ready to, it basically causes everything else to blow up.
Yeah.
It's unstable and it causes everything else to release. All the other atoms begin to separate and release their energy.
Yeah.
Because of the plutonium. So if the plutonium is not there, it's not going to cause this chain reaction. So nuclear weapons warheads have two chambers. One where the stuff that's going to blow up, and the plutonium or whatever the material is that's going to merge and cause this reaction. So the first thing is you get them together, and then you bring the two components together, and then you send it. And then by the time it lands, the two components have come together, and then you have mushroom cloud. So theoretically, you would want to just take the raw plutonium. It's about getting, plutonium is not stable, but it's about wanting to get rid of that nuclear material.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering what that would entail.
And not putting it in a missile. And sending it somewhere, but we have missiles that are ready. I mean, it's such an insane. I'm surprised we haven't blown ourselves up by now.
Well, I am too. When you consider that nuclear missiles have been around since the mid 1940s, I'm sure there are still original nuclear missiles from the late 40s, early 50s still sitting around somewhere.
Yeah, it's insane.
It is insane.
You know what they did? You know what they did in Nevada? When the old missile sites, when they almost started to launch themselves?
Yeah. Why?
One of them almost, what they didn't know what to do, they put a massive rock on top of it.
Yes.
Rachel Maddow was talking about it. It's like, okay, you put it because it's like freaking out and it's like trying to launch. Well, we rolled a tank over it and then a rock on top of that.
Oh, my God.
This is your backup plan?
Oh. You just have me thinking about all those images from the 1950s, people going to Nevada, going to Las Vegas, bringing the kids along, putting on their dark glasses and watching the nuclear explosions in the distance.
Oh my
Or
God.
they have weenie roasts over the barbecue.
All right, so let's take a look, and this one is will Trump drop NATO? Let's take a look. Jeez, what a fruitcake.
You think he's a fruitcake?
I shouldn't say that. I'm trying to be nicer.
I'd call him something else, but will Trump drop NATO? Trump drop NATO.
Oh my God, my cards are crazy. Do you want me to go first?
Mine are a little crazy. And maybe I should go first because mine
ahead,
are
go
so
ahead.
crazy. It sounds like you've got a much better reading than me,
Oh my
but
God, it's so
but I was getting things here that more or less were saying things like purpose, lot of competition right now. That's a given. But I got ultimately balance, scales of justice. You know, we've talked about how there will be intervention if Trump gets a little too outrageous in the world. And then I got compromise. That was my last card, and that's where I stopped. So what do you have?
No, I think that's exactly right. He's not going to be able to leave NATO. Where you know what's interesting, these are the cards. And the first card I got was the King of Cups, which is the emotional king, highly emotional, not always stable.
Everybody's picking on me.
I just noticed I had a thing in my had lunch earlier. All right. So emotionally unstable. His opposition, Four of Swords, is resting. You know what? His treatment of Zelenskyy was so horrific. I mean, I'm just so embarrassed for my country. I
know a lot of people have said the very same thing.
And then hope and fear is the tower. So the entire United States, I think we're just, the people in power are like horrified at what this guy's doing. Final outcome, he runs like a thief. From the tower. I never said that. He made me. I was my idea. You know, this guy runs from the tower. So this is a guy who doesn't have, he's not a very courageous person.
No. Well, bullies rarely are. You know, he's all about bravado and show and the big old bully. And we know how weak and frightened those people are.
Yeah.
Typically, yeah. But what I was just getting from my cards, your cards, is he's just not going to be allowed to get away with even a fraction of this crap he's trying to do.
Yeah,
The world is not going to allow it. We're already seeing that. We're even seeing the American people starting to revolt.
Yeah, these protests. I mean,
town hall meetings.
The thing I wanted to ask you, by the way, and we can go ahead and check on Tesla next, but there was a question about, I think, did we cover everything on? No, we didn't do a reading yet. Mike, Joel Tilson says MAGA hates Musk. Going back to the whole thing we covered about, how do you feel about the fact that they're trashing Tesla? I just want your opinion.
Well, my personal opinion, I think I said earlier, is a little bit petty because I'm actually enjoying seeing Musk being brought down. And I said, I know we're not supposed to think like that. So I said, yeah, but I do like to see karma being facilitated. And I think Musk is trying so hard to do some really horrific things. He needs to be stopped, whatever it's going to take to stop him. And if this does the trick, then I'm all for it.
I think that Elon Musk could lose everything. Remember when we talked about predictions where I said I thought the world was going to conspire against him and he was going to lose everything?
Yes, you've said that before in readings.
There was something I wanted to say about this.
Yeah.
Oh, the morals and ethics. You know, is it a good idea long term for us to be blowing up Teslas? You know, if you're just looking at what is best for Gaia, is the best thing for Gaia and for the planet for us to be blowing up Teslas. So when I go into this energy, I think about people I care about who work at Tesla, who are not Elon Musk, who really, hey, we're actually trying to do something good in the world here.
Exactly.
So I know people who work at Tesla,
You do?
and sure, so do you. So we all do. Either they're manning phones or taking people's orders, just regular people. Or I
Yeah.
know people that have been engineers that have worked there. The point is this: is that from their perspective, what they have said, and correct me if I'm wrong, some of them watch the channel. They're really getting tired. This is their job. This is their. They work very, very hard. They're trying to put out a good product. They care about the ethics of what they're producing, and a lot of people work there. So my concern in all of this, and I think we talked briefly about this before we went live, is that all these good people who are trying to produce that really are trying to produce a good product, could lose their jobs, and something good in the world, which is electric car. I don't know if I like this, is what I'm saying, because I know people who are going to lose their jobs.
Well, and also
Regular people who are just manning phones and stuff.
Well, violence is never an acceptable option. It's always tragic. Yeah, when people being hurt, cars being burned up, electrical charging centers. I saw that those are being burned.
I have a real problem with this, and and that's it's when we want people to think on this channel. You know that, Chuck. We are not. We don't tell. Yeah, we're blowing up Teslas. It's like, you know what? Be an adult. Stand back and look at the situation objectively. The planet's on fire. Tesla hires most of the people that work at Tesla are just people like you and me working their asses off that are trying to would like to believe that they're doing something good in the world, producing a good product.
Exactly.
I think there's got to be ways that we can take out Elon without, I don't even want to use the word take out, but deal with the problem.
Yeah.
I don't want my friends to lose their jobs.
Exactly.
Or to go to jail or anything else that's happening. I have friends that I genuinely think they're afraid they're going to go to jail with some of what's going on.
Yeah. Well, this goes back to what we always pray for. Whatever is for the highest good. Whatever it takes for the highest good. And I'm not quite sure how to answer that just yet. I don't feel Elon Musk is for our higher good.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like when I met it, this is why I'm so grateful that I learned Tantra. And this is why I'm so grateful that I learned remote viewing, because it is so easy to be in our ego and say, yeah, we're going to take down Tesla. But then when I do my remote viewing and I say, okay, let me scan objectively, let me put myself in the shoes of a Tesla employee, it's like, whoa, all these people are going to suffer and lose their, I don't know if this doesn't feel so good all of a sudden. I don't feel so righteous all of a sudden.
No.
And then I think about the environmental cost and the economic cost. So I think I am pretty much an activist, and I am left of center. Everybody knows my politics, but I just feel also we have to be wise. And there are ways that we can deal with people like this without that kind
violence.
It's going to hurt good people and potentially damage what could be a good product that's good for employment for Americans and stuff. So I'm mixed about it. I guess that's what
a lot of mixed feelings. But when it comes down to like plants being burned down, electrical charging centers burned, cars being burned,
it's not cool.
But maybe a more peaceful way is just to boycott the product for now.
Exactly. If you don't support it, but understand there's hundreds of people that work there and that they're not Elon, and there's hundreds of investors and they're not Elon, and they've got kids and families and didn't vote for the green, or the orange, whatever. So it's just something that I think about, and I wish there was a way that we could bring the world back into balance without this.
I know. It seems, well, it's like a war, and inevitably in war, people are going to get badly hurt. It's unavoidable. It's like the other side of this, as some people have been pointing out. What about all the federal employees that have been laid off? All the people have lost their jobs because of Elon Musk. And it's just tragic all around. That's
the next thing we're getting to. Okay, so I don't want to talk about the Tesla thing anymore. I feel like I think we know where it's headed. I think he's in trouble. But I do want to go into this conversation about the feds losing their jobs. Now, evidently, it came out. I'm glad that came out. Thank you to the people, by the way, and to Joel, who is the floor director, for keeping us sane, because sometimes we're not always sane. But according to the Huffington Post, now Trump is saying that he wants to backtrack and rehire people. This is what I mean about him being weak. He doesn't have the strength of his convictions. And so as soon as something makes him unpopular, he simply switches his opinion.
Yeah. I also wonder how much of this is just part of his overall gaslighting plan. That's how gaslighters work. They spring things on you, scare the hell out of you, and then go, oh, I didn't mean that. I'm going to take it back. I'm wondering if this was all planned all along. Because Trump had to have known the judges were going to rule against him, but he went ahead and did it anyway, and now he wants to take it back.
Well, it's also the Nazi playbook, which is where you say something shocking and say, "Well, we're going to deport all of you and send you to Auschwitz." Say you threw that out in the middle of like a ghetto in Warsaw. Everybody would freak out and they would riot and they would freak out. Sure. Because the expectation is so high.
Exactly. That's
and
what
then
I mean.
The Nazis come back and say, yeah, we changed our mind. How? They changed their mind. And then when you come back the following week and say, we're only taking 10 people to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
It's still horrifying, but it's like, well, it could have been worse.
Yeah. But that's what I meant. That's how
psychologically numbs you. These kinds of things numb you.
Sure.
And I feel like in a way we are we're like rats that are part of an experiment.
Sure.
How will they react? Well, they protested. Okay, so we'll have to fire everybody, but we'll do it differently. We'll hire people back, and then we'll do it this. They're all by the time he's done with us, it's going to be a disaster. But we'll be too numb and wiped out to protest.
Exactly. That's why I can't.
Starved and exhausted, just like the fall of the Warsaw Ghetto. They just kept picking until eventually people were so broken and exhausted that they were able to clear people out with very little fight because they'd had no strength left. And that is where my head goes when I hear this.
Well, that was intuitively how I felt when I read the news story today, that this was all part of a plan. Like people are saying the attack on Zelenskyy at the White House, that was all planned before the cameras. This feels all planned. Like you said, it's all deliberate gaslighting, shell-shocking people. He wants to weaken people. He wants to wear us down by just hitting us over the head and over the head and over the head and over the head. Why we have to hold on to our own strength. We have to put a nice pink bubble around ourselves or whatever it takes and just not buy into this. It'll make us all crazy otherwise.
Yeah, because I don't think it will last. But let's go ahead and throw on that. Joel says GOP town halls canceled because people are so upset about the layoffs, the federal layoffs, etc. But and also they didn't vote for Elon Musk. He's not their president.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad people are waking up to that. Not to say that a lot of people weren't, but as we know, a lot of Trump supporters just. What can we say? So what is the question, Whimsy, for the cards?
We're looking at the GOP town hall and the fact that we're looking at federal workers. Are they going to be okay? Are they going to be rehired? What's going on with federal workers?
Okay. Okay. I think a lot are going to be rehired. Right now, it's like a standstill, like a rest, even though it's not a rest, like the peaceful dove, but it's like a standstill right now. These people don't know where they stand. It's like they're also in a form of solitude right now. But what I'm getting is life force, self-esteem, priorities. In other words, people are not going to stand for this. They're going to start regrouping, gathering their strength. They're fighting this. And I'm getting there is going to be compromise. I take that to mean a lot of people are going to eventually get their jobs back, be rehired, because behind this was the victory card. I just don't know how many will get their jobs back, but I don't think these mass layoffs are going to hold. They can't. Our government can't function, for one thing.
Right. So, in terms of what that looks like, we have these judges coming in and they're temporarily blocking, like the dodgy staffers, from accessing federal payment systems. But we're also preventing the firings because they're getting rid of vital services. They're actually getting rid of,
vital services. That's right. I mean, our government's going to just shut down.
Children don't. Well, like peanut butter for starving children in Africa, it costs 25 cents to keep a kid alive, and he cut the program. Are you a psycho? I mean, well, they are psychopaths.
They are.
You won't give a kid a spoonful of peanut butter? What the hell's wrong with you?
I know.
Well, and please stop calling yourself a Christian, for the love of God.
Thank you.
You won't give a starving child
They're the worst
hypocrites. Full of nutritious peanut butter because you didn't want to pay your taxes. For Shanda, shame on you. So where we're at in terms of federal work, 6 of Swords moving into 7th position, rehire over the next several years. Remember, Swords are years. It's the ice of the 1 year of January. 6 of Swords means many years lay ahead, smooth water. The water goes from rocky to smooth. So the prediction is that there will be many jobs in federal jobs in the future, that this is not going to last because of the new green economy. What's their opposition? The courts. We know that the courts are coming in and it's opposing the hopes and the fears. New beginning in April. I keep getting that April card. Final outcome, complete confusion at dodgy. Well, we don't know how to reduce the debt because it's real. We don't know. We're confused. The judge won't let us cut all these jobs and all these programs because it has to go through legislation and Congress has power of the purse. Exactly, which is why Clinton took 8 years to do this and worked with bipartisan legislation when he felt that it was too much government it was too top heavy. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. And if you do it the wrong way, the judges are going to come in and they're going to put a stop to it. The other thing is that the money for the new green economy already got approved. So this is stupid. We already have a plan for 2030. We already have a plan for new green economy. So I think it sorts itself out by August. And I don't see Trump. I just don't know. Something's going to happen. I keep seeing it.
Well, yes, every time you keep getting this about April. Have you had any more recent revelations about April? Anything closer?
It comes up in the cards every time.
Every time.
Yeah, Page of Wands is, each page is based on an archangel. In Hebrew, a messenger and an angel is the same. Malachim. Malachim is like angels, the Malachim, right? So each messenger corresponds to a different archangel, right? So the Page of Wands is Uriel, which is similar to the Hebrew word Algi, which is fire or lion. And so it's associated with Leo, the lion, and also Aries, springtime, the fire signs, right? So Page of Wands is like the young child pioneer, the Aries child, Uriel, who's going to go out and conquer the world. And 4 of Wands is also the 4th month because most people now read Wands as months. So the 4th month is the 4 of Wands. Page of Wands is also an April card because of the Aries baby. And that time, those 2 cards, I keep getting Tower, 4 of Wands, Tower, Page of Wands. Something is going down. Yeah. And the feedback when I go into meditations on Trump, excuse me, the Trump voter begins to just say, he's just not what he was. He's just not what he was. He's just not the same person. There is this growing feeling or sense that begins to emerge over the coming weeks by Trump voters that he has changed. Maybe he's not what he was, that he's washed up and he's finished, and that this guy is dragging him around like he's some senior poodle that got rescued from a dog farm or something. I mean, like
elder abuse. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, where did you get the dog? The dog with the diapers that you brought home.
And why is he orange?
Why is he orange? So, you know, there's a little
Clifford
bit
the
of
big
that.
orange dog. You know.
Right. So did you hear about Canada being pissed? Let's go ahead and talk about that.
Are they pissed?
Canada.
No.
Hi, Deborah wants to talk about that too. Zalazar, Canada canceling Starlink. Wow. You want to? I mean, like, how could this be good for our economy?
Well, it can't be good for our economy. It's a disaster. It's a worldwide disaster. It feels to me like Trump intentionally wants to blow up our economy and then blow up the world economy. I don't know what the motivation is behind this.
Yeah, well, they don't know how we're going to pay for all of this, so we just started firing people, but we didn't go through Congress, which approves the purse. So, like, it's outside, but the president said so. Yes, but executive cannot override legislation, you know, because he doesn't have the power of the purse, honey.
Exactly.
So that's why you keep winding up in court. You have to go through, just like Clinton. You know, it has to be a bipartisan thing. What's interesting, you know, again, energetically, is that it is simply not sustainable. I don't see this relationship between Musk and Trump lasting past April. That's my prediction.
That's good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, something happens. Yeah. So did people are sending hearts of happiness.
Yeah.
Did you have fun today?
I always have fun with you. I said that before the show today.
Aren't you excited about next
I always
month?
love working with you.
We're having next month. We've got so much stuff planned for you guys.
Oh my God, it's going to be incredible. Yeah, so
I'm gonna be in LA, and Chuck and I are gonna be doing a bunch of photo shoot, and then we're also writing a book. For Broke Aristocrats.
Yeah, working on illustrations
he's
for it.
He's the official illustrator.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see
Me too.
That'll be at the end of April. So we have a lot of shows before then. All right. Do you have any announcements?
Nothing quick, because I know that Trump is about to speak any minute here. I'm just turning on my TV in the background here. But if you want a reading from me, or you would like to commission me for artwork, you can contact me at dransfieldchuck, one word, at gmail.com.
Very good.
Simple. Okay.
So if you'd like to get spirit painting done, or tarot card readings, consultation. Also, Chuck is a medical intuitive. He is licensed in the state of California, so he can do that too. He is a licensed physician's assistant. Dransfieldchuck at gmail.com. I was there when you took the exam.
Yes, you were.
All right. And if you're trying to get in with me, you can find all the information below. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. And we will see you next time. Bye, everyone. We had a great time.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.